Just ahead on 6 News this morning, a reported chemical attack on civilians in Syria, how the U.S. is responding to the crisis.
Plus, they're the voice on the phone when you need help, an inside look at life in a 911 call center.
And it's Severe Weather Awareness Week. Advice on staying safe when the storms strike. 6 News is here for you right now.
Live from WLNS TV, this is 6 News This Morning.
Well, good Monday morning, Mid-Michigan. Thank you so much for starting your Monday with us. Justin Cree alongside meteorologist Emily Walls here in the Weather Center. And Emily, it was so nice seeing that sun this weekend, but there's another S in the forecast this morning. I don't think it's sun.
It's not sun this time around. We have snow back in the forecast today. Fortunately, it's just a few snow flurries out there right now. It's not very heavy, but I think as we go throughout the day, we're still going to hold on to the chance for those snow showers, possibly mixing in with some rain showers. So not the best Monday we've ever talked about, but it could always be a lot worse.
That's
Let's
true.
take a look at the weather headlines for today. A couple rain and snow showers in the forecast. Again, right now it's just a few snow flurries out there. Something that we will have to keep a close eye on, however, is we have temperatures that are below the freezing mark, and that's starting to combine, of course, with a few snow flurries, and we could be dealing with some slick conditions on some of our area roadways. Now let's talk about some good news. How about that? We have a warming trend finally in the forecast. By the middle portion of this work week, we're going to be in the 50s, and then late this work week, we have 60s in the forecast. So the satellite and radar, right now we do have a few snow flurries across the area. We are on the far northern extent of a system that's passing south of us. Again, not heavy snow this morning. Temperature-wise, we are just below the freezing mark in most spots. It's 30 in St. John's and Owasso, same thing in Lansing and Jackson, right at 32 in Mason. Your daily planner, rain and snow showers possible around midday, same thing this afternoon, just scattered in nature with highs near 40.
Emily, thank you. The UN Security Council will hold an emergency meeting today.
This is in response to reports a poison gas attack killed at least 40 people in a rebel-held town in Syria. The reported attack comes after the collapse of a truce between the Syrian government and opposition forces. First responders say they found families suffocated in their homes and shelters with foam on their mouths.
However, both the Syrian and Russian governments have denied the attack. This is not the first time Syrian dictator Bashar al-Assad has been accused of using poison gas, a war crime. President Trump condemned the strike on Twitter and warned of serious consequences.
Late last night, Syria's state-run news agency reported the country's military experienced a missile attack on an airbase in central Syria. The news agency says government forces shot down 8 missiles, but there were still a number of casualties. The Syrian reports originally said the U.S. is likely responsible for the attack, but now a Syrian military official and the Russian military are blaming the Israeli Air Force for the airstrike. U.S. officials say our military has not launched airstrikes on Syria.
Well, closer to home, police are still investigating a deadly crash from Sunday afternoon. 2 people died and several others were injured in a 4-car crash on southbound US 23 in Northfield Township, which is just north of Ann Arbor. Police say a 74-year-old man driving the wrong way on the highway hit another car head-on, carrying 3 people inside. A 3rd car carrying 2 people was also hit, along with a 4th car carrying only the driver. Authorities say the 74-year-old is in serious condition. So is the driver of the car he hit head-on. The 2 passengers in the 2nd car died on the scene. Others involved suffered minor injuries.
The state Supreme Court is set to hear a case this week on whether public schools can adopt their own restrictions on firearms. Back in 2015, a spectator at a school concert in Ann Arbor carried a gun into the school. Michigan law bans people from possessing a gun inside a weapon-free school zone, but there is an exception for people with a concealed pistol permit. The school district banned all guns, including those covered under the exception. Michigan's High Court is set to hear arguments on Wednesday.
Well, it's National Public Safety Telecommunicators Week. 6 News got an inside look at the Eaton County Dispatch Center to experience firsthand how emergency dispatchers handle a crisis.
911 dispatchers are the lifeline between people and first responders, and their job is anything but easy.
Eaton County 911, where is your emergency?
According to the 911 director, it takes 12-hour days and nearly 6 months of training. Dispatchers tell us it's important to stay calm during an emergency, and while it can be difficult not knowing the outcome of a call, one dispatcher says she wouldn't trade her job for the world.
Whether it is a medical emergency or a house fire or you've lost your child, when people are calling us, it is it is the worst day of their life. And to know that you hold the power to help them through that, that feels good.
Last November, Eaton County voters approved a 911 surcharge on their phone bill to help build a new radio system for the Central Dispatch. The director says building the radio towers should start in August with hopes of them up and running next year.
Today is the first day of Severe Weather Awareness Week, so we're here for you this morning on ways you can be prepared for bad weather.
Yeah, we spoke to emergency management officials over the weekend who say we get most of the damage here in Michigan from high winds, whether that be from storms or tornadoes. Officials also say as we slowly head to another tornado season, you should make sure you have a crawl space ready to go and make sure it's cleared out. And it's also never a bad idea to have a helmet in there because a lot of the injuries first responders see when severe weather hits are from head trauma. As part of Severe Weather Awareness Week, officials will hold a statewide tornado drill this Wednesday at 1 o'clock.
From Storm Tracker 6, this is Weather on the Sixes. Brought to you by Auto Owners Insurance, the no problem people.
Well, typical low temperature for this date of April is usually around 35 degrees, and we're really not too far off from that right now anyway. But over the next few hours, I do expect most locations to slide down into the upper 20s. But currently, we're at 30 degrees in St. John's and Owasso, 32 in Mason, Charlotte, 31. Jackson, 30 degrees, same thing in Lansing and in Hillsdale. We are down to 29 degrees currently in Adrian. The wind speeds this morning, we have a southeasterly breeze 10 miles per hour or less across the area, and that should be the case for a good portion of today, just 5 to 10 mile per hour wind speeds, so we're not expected to be quite as breezy as where we have been over the last few days. That slight breeze that we do have this morning, it makes a pretty big difference in terms of the wind chill. Notice Lansing feeling more like 21 degrees this morning. In Mason, it feels like 26. Jackson area feeling a wind chill of 24. Same thing down in Coldwater. The satellite and radar, we have scattered snow showers beginning to make their way through. It's very, very light snow as of right now. And as we go throughout the day, that could change. We'll have scattered snow showers still a possibility, but notice the darker shades of blue showing up here on Precision Cast. That's suggesting that we could be experiencing those moderate to heavy bursts of snow, but with temperatures topping out close to 40, we might have a few raindrops mixing in with some of these snow showers during the afternoon. So your day in detail around the noon hour, expect to be in the mid to upper 30s, topping out close to 40 this afternoon. And then tonight, we're going to drop through the 30s and eventually into the upper 20s as we go closer to daybreak tomorrow. The traffic tracker between East Lansing, Okemos, and Hazlet, major roadways are doing okay. We have some of our usual delays for this time of day. Westbound Grand River through East Lansing, that's moving a little slower than normal. All highway traffic around Lansing, that looks just fine. We don't have any crash reports this morning. Southbound 127 through Mason, still moving pretty slowly at the current moment. We'll check in on that for you, but as of right now, we don't have any crash reports. So I think it might be, yeah, it might be somebody that just kind of hopped on the highway right at that exit.
Yeah.
Took a while to get up to speed. It took me a while to get up to speed today.
Moving slowly.
Even the cars are like, we're not doing
that anymore.
Yeah.
It's cold Monday. We don't want to do it. Yeah.
Hey, it's warmer than yesterday morning.
That's true. Yeah.
Plus.
That is true.
Moving in the right direction, like you said.
Right.
All right, still ahead, it's Mayoral Monday. Lansing Mayor Andy Shore tells us when we can expect to see real improvements in area roads.
Thanks for waking up with us here on 6 News this morning. Your time, 6:08. Here's a live look over Hillsdale. Welcome back. It's Mayoral Monday here on 6 News this morning. Lansing Mayor Andy Shore wasn't able to be here live with us, so we sat down with him at the end of last week. Here's what he had to say about the capital city. On this Mayoral Monday, we're joined by Lansing Mayor Andy Shore. Thanks so much for being with us today.
It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure.
So I know a lot of people have been asking you about the roads. I know crews are out putting down hot patch, and I know you've been talking to neighborhoods. Yeah. What have people been telling you, and when will we start to see real improvement?
Well, people have been saying the same thing as they were saying during the campaign and before. You know, people want to see the roads fixed. They're kind of tired of the big potholes and the kind of the craters in the roads. And you know, we live in Michigan, so you get a freeze and a thaw, and the roads break up. So we are out doing what we said we were going to do. We're meeting in a variety of neighborhoods. We've met, we had one meeting already where there were several people that came out. We're going to do that all around the city. We're explaining to people how much money we have. We have about $5 million a year to fix what would take about $25 million to keep it kind of the way it is now. So we really don't get enough money from the gas tax from the state or from the feds, but we're doing what we can with the resources we have. We're prioritizing. We're going to fix some local roads. We're going to have some major projects. We don't put the hot patch down until the weather gets warmer. If we put it down now, it's a waste of money because it would come right up. So we try and put some cold patch down where we can, but when the warmer weather comes, We will put some patch down, we'll do some asphalt overlays, we'll do some complete reconstructions, but not many because we don't have a lot of money. But we're going to do what we can with the dollars we have and try and make the roads and the sidewalks a little bit better for people in Lansing.
Okay, so Lansing's a smaller Midwest city. How do you plan to take it to the next level as far as attracting people, business infrastructure?
Well, we have a lot of assets, right? So we are the capital city where people come for state government. We are right next door to Michigan State, and there are many students that want to live here. We have a good walkability, so we need to grow that. We need to make sure our downtown is effective as a commercial corridor. We need to make sure that all of our corridors surrounding our neighborhoods are effective. So we're looking at growth in Southwest Lansing, Southeast Lansing, on the north side, east and west. We have to have growth everywhere with businesses, with walkability, with retail, with grocery stores. And then we have to assist our neighborhoods, and we're doing a lot of work within our neighborhoods. We have to have parks and, again, streets and sidewalks. We have to assist people with home values. It's a discount right now to live and work in Lansing, so people want to come here, and we're going to help to grow that.
Is cooperation with East Lansing and Lansing Township part of that?
Absolutely. We've been doing that already, and we'll continue to do that.
Okay. Mayor Schor, thanks again for being with us for this Mayoral Monday.
Thanks for having me.
All right, I'll move you back with a check of the forecast right after the break. Thanks so much for watching 6 News this morning.
From Storm Tracker 6, this is Weather on the Sixes. Brought to you by Auto Owners Insurance, the no problem people.
Well, it seems like over the last few weeks we've been waiting and waiting and waiting for spring to finally arrive, and it looks like we do have a brief warm-up in store for us later this work week, and then it's back to below normal temperatures once again. Here's a check of our high temperature trend over the next 10 days. Today, it's still going to be cold. We're only expected to top out near 40 degrees, and that's about 15 degrees below where we should be. Tomorrow, we start to warm things up a little bit further. We should be in the mid-40s on Tuesday, finally reaching 50s by Wednesday. And then late this work week, we're planning on being in the 60s, which is actually above normal for this time of the year. But unfortunately, it doesn't look like it's going to be sticking around too long. We're dropping back down into the 40s early next work week. And on average, over the course of this 10-day forecast here, it looks like most days we're going to stay below normal, with the exception of the later portion of this work week. Skyview Network from our Hillsdale camera this morning, a little bit of flurry action, even some patchy drizzle and some fog developing in Hillsdale. And with temperatures near 29 degrees, we could be dealing with some slick spots on the roadways, so be aware of that. In Jackson, pretty much same thing. We've been seeing some very light snow shower activity moving through. It's 30 degrees. We have easterly winds of 6 miles per hour, so wind chills feeling more like 24 degrees. And from our Capitol cam, we have a 10-mile-per-hour wind out of the south-southeast. That's bringing wind chills down to about 21 degrees this morning. So it does feel like another cold start. It's 31 over in Kalamazoo and in Grand Rapids. We're now at 30 in Howell, 29 in Flint, 30 degrees in Elma, and 31 degrees currently in Mount Pleasant. And we really don't have a huge warm-up in store for us today. Remember, we're only expected to tap out near 40 degrees, and that's about 10 degrees warmer than where we're at this morning. So again, not much of a warm-up. Satellite and radar. There's a system that's mainly passing to our south, but we're on the far northern extent of this. So if we zoom things in, you can see some very light snow moving throughout mid-Michigan. A lot of what you're seeing here on the radar, that's just some flurries making it down to the ground level, possibly mixing in with some drizzle at times. Precision cast taking us throughout the rest of today. We're likely going to start to see a few raindrops mixing in with some of our snow showers. But one thing that I think we will have to keep an eye out for this afternoon is the potential for some moderate to heavy snow bursts that can quickly coat the roadways, reduce visibilities. That is going to remain in the forecast even during the afternoon. But in some spots, we'll likely see some raindrops mixing in. Then tonight, we finally get a break from this. The system slides off to our east. Skies become partly cloudy toward daybreak tomorrow. So I think we see some sunshine for Tuesday, and that will help to boost our temperatures a little bit more. We'll be in the mid-40s on Tuesday afternoon. By Wednesday, increasing cloud cover. I don't really think precipitation is going to be much of an issue for us on Wednesday. I'm just thinking more clouds than sunshine, and temperatures finally reaching the 50s again by Wednesday afternoon. The school day forecast, a lot of kids are heading back to the classrooms today. Temperatures will top out near 40. We'll have scattered snow showers, possibly mixing with rain showers at times. And we'll have south-southeasterly winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. The 6-day forecast tomorrow, partly cloudy, 45, 53, and partly sunny on Wednesday. Thursday morning, we might start off the day with a few rain showers. After that, we'll clear things out, and high temperatures late this week will finally reach the 60s. The traffic tracker, 69 east and westbound, that looks good from Flint to Lansing. M52 all the way down to Chelsea, that looks good too. 94 east and westbound from Ann Arbor to Jackson looks just fine. We do have delays, however. It looks like M50 through Napoleon and also southbound 127 just before the M50 exit.
All right, Emily, thanks. Well, still ahead, we'll break down the top trending stories on our website. Your time now, 6:19, almost 6:20. Thanks so much for waking up with us here on 6 News this morning. Here's a live look over the Capitol.
It's time for What's Trending Today, where we break down the most clicked stories on our website right now. Let's start with a story out of Michigan State University. On Friday, students took action against sexual assault by standing together in solidarity. Dozens of people formed a teal ribbon before taking a moment of silence. Organizers say they hope it will show students are engaged and at the forefront of sexual assault conversations. And lastly, you may remember how the Troy Police Department put out a Twitter challenge, writing if it got 10,000 followers by April, it would get a police cat. Well, after narrowing down the choices, officers chose this kitten to be the department's crime-fighting partner. Students at Troy Public Schools are now charged with picking out a few names the public will get to vote on. To read up on any of those stories, we have them all posted on our website right now, WLNS.com. Emily's up next to tell us when things will finally warm up. Thanks for waking up and watching 6 News this morning.
From Storm Tracker 6, this is Weather on the Sixes. Brought to you by Auto Owners Insurance, the no problem people.
Well, this morning we have a few locations that are waking up to reduced visibility. Lansing area is still looking really good, 9 miles, close to the perfect 10. So we're getting, oh, all right, here in the Lansing area. I got to get my thoughts together here. Here we go. In Mason, 7 miles of visibility. In Jackson and Hillsdale, about 2.5 miles of visibility. So we are seeing a little bit of fog developing in some of our southern sections, mainly closer to 94 and south of 94 this morning. Here's a live view from our WLNS tower cam. Things look just fine over 127 north and southbound. It's 32 degrees, and we have just calm winds to report this morning. It's 32 in Charlotte and Mason. Jackson area at 30. Same thing in Hillsdale, 29 degrees in Adrian, 30 for Owasso, and also in Howell. And I think over the next few hours, we're going to have quite a few locations dipping down into the upper 20s. Now, the satellite and radar, just a few snow flurries making their way through, and in some locations, we may possibly be seeing a little bit of drizzle. So just be aware that there could be some slick spots on our area roadways this morning, especially since our temperatures are at or below freezing. Precision Cast taking us into the noon hour. At this point, scattered snow showers, but notice the darker blues showing up here on the model. That's suggesting moderate to heavy snowbursts. That's going to be a possibility through the noon hour, even into the afternoon. And with temperatures warming up close to 40 degrees, well, that could mean a few raindrops mix in too. Average high temperature for this date is 55 degrees. So we're going to be about 15 degrees below that. We'll have south-southeasterly winds of 5 to 10 miles per hour. The 6-day forecast tomorrow, partly cloudy, 45, 53, and partly sunny on Wednesday. Thursday and Friday, we're really warming things up, but it looks like we'll have a couple rain showers around, especially Thursday morning and then throughout the day on Friday. The traffic tracker for those of you heading out the door very soon. We aren't seeing any crash reports along 96 east and westbound from 23 to 52. And around the Lansing area, all major highways are moving at posted speeds.
Emily, thank you. Well, coming up, a major road work project is kicking off this morning. Will it affect your morning commute? We'll let you know right after the break.
Thanks so much for waking up with us here on 6 News this morning. Your time, 6:28.
Just that on 6 News this morning, delayed because of the weather. The changes you can expect to see today at Okemos and Jolly.
Plus, a synthetic blend of marijuana with a deadly ingredient, the toxic substance investigators discovered.
And how safe is your Facebook data? Where you can find out if your information has been shared. 6 News is here for you right now.
Live from WLNS TV, this is 6 News This Morning.
Well, it's a Monday.
It's a struggle today. We're all feeling it. Don't be like us.
No, it's a Monday.
It's a Monday.
Put the superhero cape on and you can do it.
Get out the door with a smile, even though it's snowing. And it's not going to be sunny. We're trying. We're trying. We're going to make it because it's going to warm up later this week, right, Emily?
That's right.
That's right. We just have a few more days to power through. Today we are waking up to snow shower activity across the area, and we're only expecting high temperatures pretty close to where we were yesterday, which is going to put us around 40. But guess what? We have 60s in our 6-day forecast, so we have a really big warm up in store for us late this work week, but the next few days still going to be on the chilly side of things. The satellite and radar, we are on the northern extent of a system sliding to our south. So zooming things in, we have light scattered snow showers moving throughout the area. A lot of what you're seeing here on the radar, it's only coming to the ground as flurries, so not much action out there this morning, but it may be enough to make the roadways slick in some spots. If the roadways look wet and they are left untreated, well, of course, they could be a little little slick this morning, with temperatures dipping down into the upper 20s and low 30s. The daily planner by noon, rain and snow showers going to be possible as our temperatures begin to warm up later this afternoon. Again, a few raindrops may be mixing in. Highs today near 40 degrees, and we'll have south-southeasterly winds 5 to 10 miles per hour.
All right, Emily, thank you. We are continuing our coverage for you on a big roadwork project that may affect your morning commutes. More work is expected to begin today.
The major traffic shifts were supposed to happen last week, but weather postponed the project. So today, Jolly Road will shift into the southern eastbound lane. Okemos Road traffic will shift this Wednesday into the eastern northbound lanes. Crews will replace multiple storm drains under Jolly Road. There will also be new traffic signals and crosswalks. The Ingham County Road Department says drivers should avoid the area if possible, but for those who can't, there will be detour signs posted. This project is expected to last through Labor Day.
Investigators are working to determine the cause of a fire at a home on Lansing's southwest side. Crews were called to the 4,000th block of South Deerfield Avenue around 8:45 last night. When they arrived, they could see flames coming from the back of the house. Crews put them out and tell us that the home is not a complete loss. Officials say nobody was inside at the time of the fire and the cause is under investigation.
Local health officials are sending out a warning this morning. 2 people have died and dozens of others have been hospitalized after using a certain strain of synthetic marijuana in Illinois. The drug is called K2 or Spice and contains rat poison. Synthetic marijuana usually comes in liquid form. It's sprayed on leaves and then smoked. Health officials say there are dangerous side effects like severe bleeding. They're warning the community to be cautious when deciding which drug to use, and authorities say if you have any doubts before taking a drug, it is probably best you don't.
With a bunch of chemicals mixed together, you really have no idea what the effects are.
People try to do bad things. You know, if you're lacing a product that you know people are going to consume with essentially the equivalent of rat poison.
The American Association of Poison Control Centers released data showing exposure to synthetic marijuana has actually gone down within the last 7 years. In 2011, centers across the country received almost 7,000 calls on the issue compared to roughly 2,000 last year.
Well, starting today, Facebook will begin alerting users who may have been affected by the Cambridge Analytica scandal. 2.2 billion Facebook users will receive a notice on their feeds if their private data was compromised in the latest scandal. It will be titled Protecting Your Information, and it will have a link for you showing what Facebook apps you use and what information has been shared with those apps. Political data mining firm allegedly used the data that received from Facebook in an attempt to sway the election. Well, it's time for some spring cleaning. Seasonal yard waste collection begins today in Lansing.
That's right. Residents can start setting out leaves, grass clippings, and other yard waste at the curb on their normal recycling and trash collection day. A few reminders for you. Yard waste must be in paper bags. Brush and tree trimmings must be less than 4 feet long and less than 2 inches in diameter, also bundled with twine or string. Bags and bundles cannot weigh more than 30 pounds. Also, do not dispose of beehives or wasps' nests. It is dangerous for workers.
In Jackson County, crews will begin their spring hydrant flushing program. They are starting in Summit Township today. It will take place from 8 in the morning until 4:30 in the afternoon, Monday through Friday. It's expected to take 3 weeks. Now, Spring Arbor Township will begin theirs next Monday, and Napoleon Township will begin flushing April 30th. But those two will only take about a week to complete. Well, we have another big announcement for you this morning, the headliners for the Jackson County Fair this fall.
You're hearing it here first, right on 6 News. Theory of a Dead Man and Pop Evil are teaming up for the fair. The concert will be on Tuesday, August 7th at 7 p.m. Tickets go on sale this Saturday, April 14th at 9 a.m. You can buy tickets at the Jackson County Fair box office on etix.com or by calling the number on your screen.
From Storm Tracker 6, this is Weather on the Sixes. Brought to you by Auto Owners Insurance, the no problem people.
Well, this morning we're waking up to a couple snow showers across the area, but our temperatures this morning, they're significantly warmer than where we were yesterday morning at this very same time. So yesterday, we were waking up only in the upper teens. Today, we're in the lower 30s, likely going to be falling down into the upper 20s here over the next few hours. And here's a check of our daily almanac for today. So we're forecasting a high temperature of 40. Normal highs for this date of April 55 degrees. So we're coming in about 15 degrees below normal in terms of our high temperatures. Low temperatures still going to be a little below normal too. The records for this date, 80 degrees. That's the record high temperature that was set back in 1931. Record low, 11 degrees. That was set in 1868. Our current temperatures this morning, almost all of us are still in the lower 30s. We're sitting right at 30 in Lansing. Same thing in Jackson. It's 32 in Mason. Howell at 30. Same thing in Owasso. And it's 31 degrees over in Coldwater. The wind speeds this morning, we're all seeing southeasterly winds around 10 miles per hour or less. So it's not that windy outside, and as we go throughout the rest of today, we're just counting on 5 to 10 mile per hour winds. The satellite and radar, we have scattered snow continuing to spread across the area, but this is very, very light snow. A lot of what you're seeing here on the radar, it's just coming down as a few snow flurries across mid-Michigan. Now, Precision Cast taking us throughout the morning and toward lunchtime. Notice it's going to be very scattered in nature, but also something I wanted to point out, the darker blues showing up here. That's suggesting that we could potentially be dealing with moderate to heavy bursts of snow, which can quickly coat the roadways, reduce visibilities. So that's going to be something that we're working with around midday. Same thing in the afternoon, but with temperatures topping out close to 40, some of these snow showers may mix in with some rain showers. So the day in detail, temperatures today top out at 40 degrees. Tonight will drop through the 30s and eventually into the upper 20s around daybreak tomorrow. The traffic tracker, for those of you traveling anywhere between Okemos, Hazlet, or East Lansing, major roadways are doing pretty well. We're seeing some of our usual delays on Grand River westbound through East Lansing. Also, eastbound Saginaw Highway near Marsh and out to I-69. We're starting to see our usual backups there, too.
Yeah, rush hour.
Kicking off.
Monday morning.
Yeah, here we go.
Yeah, weather-related issues not too high out there this morning. Just be aware, always bridges, overpasses. They may become a tad slick now that temperatures are below freezing.
Oh, boy.
Good point. All right. We're moving in the right direction now.
We're getting there.
It's gonna warm up.
Coming up, one local dentist's campaign to fight oral cancer, what she asked her patients to do after the break.
Your time now, 6:38, almost 6:39. Thanks so much for waking up with us here on 6 News this morning. Hope you're having a good Monday. Here's a live look over Jackson.
Welcome back. Well, it may not be easy to talk about oral sex and cancer, but it's a topic one local dentist is working to make sure she and her staff feel comfortable discussing with patients.
Our Veronica Gabriel caught up with the Holt doctor to find out about the campaign and how she's working to educate the public.
Bonnie, Justin, this is Oral Head and Neck Cancer Awareness Week. Smoking and tobacco use are major causes of oral cancer, but the Oral Cancer Foundation says it's not the only one. The HPV virus can also cause oral cancer, something a dentist I spoke with says not many people realize.
Human papillomavirus can be a touchy subject, but it's one Dr. Susan Maples wants to bring to your attention.
So much of what we hear about is HPV and cervical cancer, and we're forgetting about oral cancer, which at this point we have more adults with oral cancer from HPV than cervical cancer.
The Holt dentist says given the rise in oral cancers related to HPV, early detection is important. So she launched a campaign asking her adult patients if they'd get tested through a saliva test.
You can swish a little bit of saline, spit it in a cup, and we can identify all the 25 viruses that cause oral cancer in the mouth that can be cancer causing and find out if they're present.
She says almost a third of the results from patients who selected the test came back positive. From there, patients can take another test in a year to see if the virus persists. But when it comes to discussing oral cancer, its causes and preventions, Dr. Maples says it's not easy.
They're difficult conversations to have. Well, how do you get this? You know, well, you get it through oral sex. Who wants to talk about that?
According to the Oral Cancer Foundation, HPV is the leading cause of oral cancer, primarily in the tonsils and base of the tongue.
It's in the back of the throat, in the tonsillar pillars, in the posterior pharynx where you can't detect it.
Dr. Maples says oral cancer from HPV can affect both women and men, and studies show the HPV vaccine can help prevent it.
All those people that signed lips said, I'm now aware. And if they wanted the test, we put a little stamp on it that said, I've been tested.
It's important to note the saliva test looks for strains of the HPV virus that can lead to oral cancer. If you would like to get screened, Sparrow is offering a free event at Lansing Community College on April 23rd.
Such interesting information. I had no idea that HPV could cause oral cancer.
Yeah.
So it's fascinating. Really good report, Veronica.
It's good that the test is so easy, too, to detect it.
Yes, quick and easy.
Nice.
All right, well, Emily will be in next with a check of our Monday forecast right after the break.
That's right. Thank you so much for making your Monday mornings, waking up with us this morning. 6:43 for your time.
From Storm Tracker 6, this is Weather on the Sixes. Brought to you by Auto Owners Insurance, the no problem people.
Well, today we're still talking about snow shower activity, and our temperatures are not going to be much warmer than where we were yesterday afternoon. But we're moving in the right direction, I promise you. Check this out, our high temperature trend over the next 10 days. Late this work week, things really start warming up. Notice by Wednesday, we're in the 50s, which is coming a little closer to where we should be for this time of the year. Our average high now sits at 55 degrees, so on Wednesday, we'll be very close to that. And then come Thursday and Friday, we are finally climbing into the 60s, and that's going to send us above normal for this time of April. Unfortunately, it's not sticking around for the long term. Notice the beginning of next work week, it's going to be on the cooler side of things again. Highs probably only in the lower 40s, and then we'll even things out a little bit closer to 50 late next work week. But on average, over the next 10 days, most days are still going to come in below normal, but at least we have that warm up to look forward to late this week. Skyview Network from our St. John's camera now. We're at 31 degrees. We have east-southeasterly winds of 2 miles per hour. In Jackson, we're seeing some light snow shower activity moving through. Cloudy skies, 30 degrees, and we have an east-southeasterly wind of 6 miles per hour, and that's bringing wind chill temperatures down to 24. So it is feeling colder than the actual air temps this morning, even with just a slight breeze. In Lansing, we have a wind of 10 miles per hour out of the south-southeast. That's bringing wind chills down to 21 on top of an air temperature of 30. And most current temperatures around mid-Michigan are sitting right around 30 degrees, just below the freezing mark. I think over the next hour, hour and a half, we'll see quite a few locations probably dipping down into the upper 20s before we start to warm things back up again. But we're not warming things up very much today. We're only expecting highs right around 40 degrees late this afternoon. Now, the satellite and radar, we are on the northern extent of this storm system that's passing well to our south. So zooming things in, we have very light snow moving across the mid-Michigan area. And a lot of what you're seeing here on the radar is only making it to the ground as a few snow flurries. So no major issues out there just yet. Precision cast taking us throughout the rest of our Monday. Scattered snow showers will be possible even until the afternoon and evening hours, and possibly a little bit of rain mixing in at times too as those temperatures approach the 40-degree mark. And then tonight we will clear things back out again. We're going to start off our Tuesday with partly cloudy skies, just a few clouds around during the afternoon. And temperatures tomorrow slowly start to warm up again. So we should be in the mid-40s on Tuesday, still below normal. But by Wednesday, I think we're just mostly cloudy with high temperatures topping out in the 50s. And then remember, we're on our way to the 60s by Thursday and Friday. The school day forecast for today, a lot of kids are heading back to the classrooms. Expect a high of 40. We'll have scattered snow showers, possibly mixing with a few raindrops later today. The 6-day forecast, tomorrow partly cloudy, a high of 45, 53, and mostly cloudy on Wednesday. Thursday morning, a few rain showers, and then after that, we'll start to clear things out a little bit with highs in the 60s. The traffic tracker for those of you traveling 69 east and westbound, things look fine over toward the Perry area and into Lansing. M52 all the way down to Chelsea, that looks good. M106 between Jackson and Henrietta Township, we are seeing a couple delays, and also we have slow moving traffic on westbound M60 just west of Spring Arbor.
Emily, thanks. Coming up, a deadly bus crash over the weekend, how the Canadian hockey community is remembering the victims. Your time now, 6:49.
Welcome back. In your top national news this Monday, the Canadian city of Humboldt, Saskatchewan held a vigil yesterday to mourn 15 members of a junior hockey team killed in a bus crash. A semi-trailer slammed into the bus carrying the Humboldt Broncos team to a playoff game on Friday. 24 players ranging in ages from 16 to 20 years old, coaches and the driver were all on board. And Patrick Reed is the 2018 Masters champion. The 27-year-old was able to hold off charges from Ricky Fowler and Jordan Spieth to win his first major. Reed takes home the coveted green jacket and a check for $1.9 million. Well, will Mid-Michigan get out and play any golf today? Stay here. Emily will be back with a final look at a Monday forecast. Thanks for waking up and watching 6 News this morning.
From Storm Tracker 6, this is Weather on the Sixes. Brought to you by Auto Owners Insurance, the no problem people.
Well, this morning we're actually waking up to temperatures that are a little warmer than where we were yesterday morning around this very same time. Yesterday, we were only waking up to temperatures in the teens. We had a frost outside. Today, we're about 12 degrees warmer than where we were yesterday, and that's putting most of us in the lower 30s. A few spots are now in the upper 20s. Here's a live view from our WLNS tower cam. We're overlooking 127 north and southbound. And back here, this is the 496 interchange. Cars moving along just fine here in the Lansing area. It's 32 degrees at the studio. We have a relatively calm wind. It's 31 in Mason. Jackson right at 30. Same thing in Hillsdale. Adrian down to 29 degrees. It's 30 in Owasso and Howell, and 31 degrees in St. John's. Now, the satellite and radar, we're continuing to see some very, very light snow spreading across the area, and a lot of what's making it to the ground here is only a few snow flurries. So no major issues out there on the roadways this morning. But later today, notice the darker shades of blue showing up here in the scattered snow showers. That's suggesting that we could be experiencing some moderate to heavy snow bursts, maybe mixing with some raindrops as we go into the afternoon hours, because our temperatures today are topping out well above freezing. We should be able to make it to about 40 degrees, and we'll have south-southeasterly winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. The 6-day forecast: tomorrow partly cloudy, 45, 53, and partly sunny on Wednesday. Thursday morning, a few rain showers. After that, will dry things out, and highs are expected to reach the 60s on both Thursday and Friday. The traffic tracker for those of you hitting the roads soon: 96 east and westbound, that looks good from Brighton all the way into Lansing. And around the greater Lansing area, we aren't seeing any major delays on our highways. 127 looks good between the cities of Lansing and Jackson, and 94 looks good through Jackson County.
All right, Emily, and before you head out the door, here are today's top stories. Major traffic shifts will begin this morning on Jolly and Okemos roads.
Jolly Road will shift into the southern eastbound lane. Okemos Road traffic will be shifting on Wednesday into the eastern northbound lanes. Crews will replace multiple storm drains under Jolly Road. The Ingham County Road Department says drivers should avoid the area if possible. The project is expected to last through Labor Day.
Well, seasonal yard waste collection begins today in Lansing. Residents can start setting out leaves, grass clippings, and other yard waste at the curb on their normal recycling and trash collection day. In Jackson County, crews will begin their spring hydrant flushing program in Summit Township today. It will take place from 8 in the morning until 4:30 in the afternoon, Monday through Friday. It's expected to take 3 weeks. Now, Spring Arbor and Napoleon Townships will begin theirs later this month.
Starting today, Facebook will begin alerting users who may have been affected in the Cambridge Analytica scandal. 2.2 billion Facebook users will receive a notice on their feeds if their private data was compromised in the latest scandal. It will be titled "Protecting Your Information," and it will have a link for you showing what Facebook apps you use and what information has been shared with those apps.
All right. Well, you know, another cold Monday, but we'll get through it.
Yeah, we can handle it. Just power through the next couple of days. Will actually turn out to be pretty decent. We have some sunshine in store for us tomorrow, and that warming trend will begin a little bit tomorrow, but definitely by Wednesday.
You know, even if it's chilly, if we just have that little bit of sunshine, it makes such a difference.
It does help. It warms up the cars very nicely.
Yeah, it's a good mood lifter, too.
Exactly. Hopefully this is winter's last gasp, and it'll be nice and warm after that.
Finally.
Yes.
Last gasp. I like that. Last. All right. Take care. We'll see you for 6 News at noon.